Hi friends, in this update, I'm going to cover the latest immigration news regarding the immigration reform efforts, okay? Immigration reform efforts on Capitol Hill. So if you're interested in the latest update, chime in, watch this video, share it with your feed, and also be sure to comment below. Let me know how you guys are feeling today. And as you come on board, go ahead and let me know that you're on. Say hello, and I hope let me know how your week has been. It's really nice to see you today. Okay, so immigration reform. What is going on with immigration reform on Capitol Hill? In this, I'm going to actually take you into a presentation that will cover the summary news from my perspective. I've summarized it in a way that I think you guys will find incredibly beneficial. For those of you who are new to me, welcome. I'm LaToya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer here in New York, working with clients and helping people all over the United States and all over the world. Okay, and in many countries, I should say. So let's talk about immigration reform. And I see that you guys are coming on. Good evening. Nice to see you, Shireen, Josephine, and Andrew, and others. So immigration reform, guys, Democrats, from my standpoint, Democrats are advancing immigration reform on multiple tracks, but I see two main tracks. And this is what I've been telling many of you during consultations, that there are really two main tracks that's happening right now on Capitol Hill. And the first track, or track one, is the work by a bipartisan Senate group. The bipartisan Senate group have been meeting, and nothing amazing has come out of those meetings yet. And in fact, just a day or two ago, Roll Call did this article, put out an article called Bipartisan Immigration Talks Thwarted by Escalating Migration. So when I saw this headline, I thought, oh my God, this is really negative, right? Negative news. So let's just dive a little deeper to see what's going on. Because according to Roll Call, Republicans say that there's not going to be any deal until they see the White House take control of the border. Okay, and so just to remind you, the purpose of the bipartisan group, what they're doing or what they're attempting to do, is to create some sort of consensus legislation that would address border security, obviously, dreamers, TPS holders, farm workers, and maybe essential workers. And so according to Senator Graham, out of this Roll Call article, he said there will be no immigration reform until you get control of the border. Let's back up a little. I'm going a little fast. Senator Cornyn, who is also a member of the group, said there's been a lot of talk, but no progress. Okay, two Republican senators weighing in here. And then we have Senator Cortez Masto out of, I want to say she's out of Nevada, a Democrat. From her perspective, the talks, they're going well. They've been productive so far. So I'm not sure what's going on with the messaging here, but on the Republican side, they're saying, well, we're not really making much progress because, you know, we want border security measures to be at the forefront of what we do as a group on a consensus level. But then you have a Democrat chiming in saying, well, from her perspective, things are going great and the talks have been productive so far. Now, track two is reconciliation, and we've talked about this before. Reconciliation, the goal here is to pass some immigration reform efforts via reconciliation in the infrastructure bill, okay? In the infrastructure bill, and if that was to happen, they would not need a single Republican to support this. They could pass these measures by a simple majority vote. And so New York Times reported out recently that Senator Schumer is working on a plan B to push immigration changes unilaterally. Okay, so they're talking about what the Senate Majority Leader is exploring, trying to use budget reconciliation to legalize millions of undocumented immigrants. And according to this New York Times article from May 3rd, Mr. Schumer has privately told members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus in recent weeks that he is actively exploring whether it would be possible to attach a broad revision of immigration laws to President Biden's infrastructure plan and pass it through a process known as budget reconciliation, according to people familiar with his comments. And then Senator Patty Murray, I think it is, says, she tweeted actually recently, and she put out a statement that said, after years of working on immigration reform, it's clear we can't miss the opportunity to act in this critical moment. We need to look at every legislative path possible to get comprehensive immigration reform done, including through reconciliation. And this senator, by the way, is the number 3 Democrat in the Senate, okay? So she has weighed in on this issue, and she believes, and she's promoting immigration reform efforts through reconciliation. And some of you might be saying, well, I thought President Biden opposed reconciliation. He wants to do this whole bipartisan effort. What about that, McBean? What about that? Well, the issue here is this. Reconciliation is really a tool, as I've said, of the legislative leadership and the parliamentarian, okay, in the Senate. And so the parliamentarian has to weigh in on this issue, and we're going to get to that in a second here. But if the Senate leadership, along with the House leadership, agree that they're going to advance this strategy, it's their strategy to advance. Now, along the same lines, with respect to reconciliation, Senators Warren, Padilla, and a couple of representatives on the House side, they've gotten together and they're really pushing the Citizenship for Essential Workers Act. And so part of what they're trying to accomplish here is to include this opportunity in the reconciliation efforts if immigration reform makes it in a budget reconciliation process. They want essential workers to be part of that, okay? Now, what else is going on? So, as I mentioned earlier, the biggest issue right now with reconciliation is the parliamentarian. Will the Senate parliamentarian agree to include immigration reform in the reconciliation process? And that's what's being worked on right now. Arguments are being put together to show the budget implications of immigration reform. And if they can do a successful job in putting together this argument for the parliamentarian, then it's possible that immigration reform will be part of what they do next. Okay, so this is a summary. This is a little summary here. I wanted to show you just visually what this looks like. These are the top 3 Democrats on the Senate side. And so where are they on this issue of including immigration reform and reconciliation? Well, the number 1, Chuck Schumer, apparently is secretly meeting and talking with others about how to make it happen. The number 2, Senator Durbin, he's part of the bipartisan group. He's actually leading it. And so, he's kind of on the fence from what I've seen so far on this issue and really trying to push forward the bipartisan effort. And then you have the number 3, who we've talked about. She is supportive of doing these measures through reconciliation. Now, just a quick update, guys, on the pending bills, some of the pending bills that I've been speaking with you about, what's going on with the U.S. Citizenship Act and others. So the U.S. Citizenship Act, the House version, that H.R. 1177 was referred recently to the Subcommittee on Immigration back on April 28th. So there has not been any real movement on the House version of that bill quite yet. No committee action on it yet. On the Senate side, S348, nothing has happened with that bill yet. And that's the Senate version of the U.S. Citizenship Act. Again, it's just there. Now, the American Dream and Promise Act, which targets, which provides legal status to DACA recipients and then expands benefits to dreamers That bill, as you guys know, passed the House of Representatives last month, well, March 18th, and it was then referred over into the Senate Judiciary on March 22nd, and no action has happened on that one yet. Then we have the citizenship for essential workers. There has been some movement on that act, and in fact, they had a hearing this week on the subcommittee on immigration on the Senate side. So that legislation had some action this week. And then the Farm Workforce Modernization Act, that also passed the House back in March, and it's also sitting on the Senate side. No real action has happened with that one yet. Now, for those of you who need assistance with your immigration case, give my office a call. Well, contact us via the website. That is the best way of reaching McBeanLaw.com. McBean Law. Go to McBeanLaw.com, or you may call us at 718-301-9732. And let me just jump back on here. Just my staff did remind me today. They said, when you do your live session, please, please, please tell everyone that the weekend's coming up. And they need to just go on the website and book their consultation, because the office is going to be closed on the weekend. So guys, book your consultation with our office on our website at McBeanLaw.com, so that we can talk more about your immigration matter and see how we might be able to help you. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, give this video a like, and also subscribe to McBean Immigration TV, so that you won't miss out on any of my videos each week. Guys, this was just a quick update. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for being with me in this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.